I never thought a quiet Sunday afternoon would turn into a full-blown HOA showdown. I never thought my wife would stand there in the middle of our living room, shirt ripped open, staring down the woman who controlled our entire neighborhood. But when Karen grabbed her, when she tried to humiliate her, when that Marine Corps tattoo showed, everything stopped. Everyone froze. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying. Karen wasn't just angry. She was scared. Of my wife. And you're about to find out why. Cut to black, suspense holds. Hey everyone, welcome back to HOA Nightmares, the channel where I expose the wildest, pettiest, and sometimes downright insane things HOAs do. My name's Mark. I live in a quiet suburb in North Carolina. I'm just a regular guy who ended up dealing with a neighborhood run by people with too much time and way too much power. If you've ever hated an HOA, if you've ever wished someone would stand up to one, then hit that subscribe button, because we do not back down here. And listen. Drop a BOOHOA in the comments if you're ready to fight back. Share this video with anyone who's ever been bullied by an HOA. Alright, let me take you inside the moment Karen ripped my wife's dress. And everything changed. I never planned to become the guy who tells HOA war stories online. But the moment Karen ripped my wife's dress, when that Marine Corps tattoo flashed in front of the entire neighborhood, my life stopped being normal. And that day began in the most normal, boring, harmless way possible. I woke up to the sound of our neighbor's sprinkler. It clicked. It hissed. It repeated. Just like every morning. Just like every perfect little suburban minute in our HOA-controlled neighborhood. I rolled out of bed, stretched, and checked my phone. 3 new HOA emails. 2 warnings. 1 urgent notice. That was the moment I knew the day was already cursed. My wife, Lily, walked past me wearing my old Marine Corps t-shirt, hair messy, smile soft. She looked warm. Peaceful. Like someone who didn't know her day was about to turn into a battlefield. Mark, ignore those emails, let's just have one good day, she whispered. But she said it the same way soldiers say this'll be fine right before a mission goes wrong. I kissed her forehead. Yeah, one good day. We made breakfast. We joked. We talked about maybe leaving this neighborhood one day. We always talked about leaving. But we never did. Because HOAs have a way of trapping you. With rules. With fines. With pressure. With fake smiles that hide sharp teeth. By noon, we had friends over. Just a simple gathering. Nothing wild. Nothing loud. Just a few neighbors my wife liked. And then 3 loud knocks hit the door. Not polite knocks. Not friendly taps. But the kind of knocks a cop makes before breaking down the door. I didn't need to open it to know who it was. Karen. The HOA president. The self-declared guardian of the neighborhood. The woman who spent her entire life enforcing rules nobody asked for. Hair perfect. Smile fake. Eyes sharp. When I opened the door, she didn't smile. She didn't say hello. She didn't even blink. Mark, we need to talk about your wife's outfit. I froze. My wife's outfit. She's inside, Karen. She's not even outside. What rule? She raised her hand. She always did that. Like she was signaling a dog to stop barking. I saw her through the window. She looked past me. Disgusted. Wearing a shirt with an offensive emblem. That violates the HOA attire standards for visible areas. I stared at her. Offensive emblem? You mean the Marine Corps emblem? She didn't even flinch. Yes. That one. Behind her, 3 board members stood like backup dancers. Arms crossed. Serious faces. No thoughts. Just HOA. Inside, people were whispering. Lily stepped into the hallway. Still wearing my Marine Corps shirt. Still looking soft and calm. Karen, what do you want now? Karen walked right into our house without an invitation. My friends stepped back. Karen always entered like she owned the place. Like every house was hers. Like every rule was holy. I'm issuing an immediate attire violation, Karen said. And I need to document the inappropriate symbol. Lily laughed. Not a nervous laugh. A dangerous one. One I hadn't heard in a long time. Karen, you're not documenting anything. Karen stepped closer. Too close. And her voice dropped to a whisper. Take the shirt off. Let me see what's underneath. I need to verify that it's the same illegal emblem. My jaw clenched. My fists tightened. I was 1 second from throwing every HOA rulebook out the window. But Lily stopped me. She touched my arm. She smiled. A small, confident, terrifying smile. Then she unbuttoned her shirt. Karen grabbed the fabric. Hard. Trying to yank it open. Trying to embarrass her. Trying to assert that little power she lived for. And then, everything stopped. The shirt opened. And the full Marine Corps tattoo covered Lily's chest. Bold. Sharp. Beautiful. Untouchable. Karen's face dropped. Her hands froze. Her body stiffened like she'd been hit by lightning. Because it wasn't just any Marine insignia. It was the kind only Marines earn. The kind you don't question. The kind you don't disrespect. The kind that makes even bullies shut up. Real fast. Neighbors gasped. Friends whispered. Karen backed up. 2 steps. 3 steps. Eyes wide. Mouth open. Fear. Real fear. Lily didn't say a word. She just looked at her. Calm. Dangerous. Steady. That moment should have ended everything. Karen should have apologized. Left. Never bothered us again. But power-hungry people don't change. They don't back down. They break. And then they try to break you. Karen straightened her dress. Lifted her chin. And spoke through clenched teeth. A tattoo of that size is considered visual aggression under Section 4, Line 17. I can fine you for this. Lily raised one eyebrow. One more step, and you won't be fining anyone. Karen swallowed. Hard. But she wasn't done. HOA people never stop. Especially when they think they're losing. She turned toward the group behind her. Everyone here is a witness. This homeowner is in violation. And this, she pointed at Lily, is a hostile display in a family neighborhood. I stepped between them. Karen, if you say one more word about my wife, your clipboard's going through the window. Karen opened her mouth. But before she could speak, Lily walked forward. Slow. Controlled. Her shirt still open. Tattoo in full view. She stood inches from Karen's face. You want to play this game? She whispered. You want to make this about rules? Her voice dropped even lower. Then I'm going to show you what real rules look like. Karen blinked. Confused. Scared. Shaking just a little. Our friends watched silently. Phones out. Hands covering mouths. Everyone waiting. Everyone frozen. Then Karen pointed at me. Mark, you will receive a formal hearing notice. She pointed at Lily. And you will not intimidate me. I run this neighborhood. Lily leaned in. So close Karen stumbled back. No. Karen, you don't run anything. She smiled. Not anymore. Karen stormed out. But not before turning dramatically at the door. Like she wanted to end with a final blow. This isn't over. Her voice cracked. Her eyes didn't blink. You will regret challenging me. Then she slammed the door. The house went silent. Everyone staring. Everyone waiting for someone to breathe first. I turned to Lily. She buttoned her shirt slowly. Still calm. Still confident. You okay? I asked. She nodded. Yeah, but Karen just declared war, and you know she plays dirty. I rubbed my face. My stomach twisted. My throat tight. Because she was right. This wasn't a small fight anymore. HOA Karen was about to go nuclear. And this time, we weren't backing down. But here's the part that shook me the most. Lily looked at me and whispered. There's something I didn't tell you about my past, something Karen is about to dig up, and when she finds it, everything is going to explode. I froze. Because Lily never talked like that. Never hinted at secrets. Never acted afraid. And now she was. So here's my question for you. What do you think Lily is hiding from her past that could shake the entire HOA when Karen discovers it? When Lily said those words. Those soft, shaking, dangerous words. There's something I didn't tell you about my past. The room around me didn't just go quiet. It stopped breathing. It froze. My friends were still standing there. Holding their phones. Glancing between us and the front door like Karen might kick it back open at any second. But all I could see was Lily. Her eyes lowered. Her hands still trembling. Her shirt half-buttoned. That Marine Corps tattoo still peeking through. She looked strong. She looked fearless. But her voice held something I hadn't heard before. Fear. Real, raw, fear. And I didn't know what scared me more. The fact that Karen had just declared war. Or the fact that my wife, my badass, stubborn, unshakable wife, was suddenly afraid of her digging. I took her hand. Lily, what do you mean? What did you not tell me? She looked at the floor. Then at our friends. Then back at me. Not here, she whispered. Not in front of everyone. I nodded. Because I knew. If Lily was hiding something, it wasn't small. It wasn't simple. And it damn sure wasn't something an HOA should ever get close to. Our friends slowly backed out. One by one. Awkward smiles. Awkward nods. Whispering things like, call us if you need anything. Karen's crazy, man. Stay safe. When the door finally closed, it was just us. Just me. Just Lily. In the house that suddenly felt way too quiet. She sat on the couch. Hands clasped. Shoulders tense. Eyes distant. I sat beside her. Close enough to touch her. But not close enough to push her. I waited. Because sometimes silence isn't empty. Sometimes silence is a battlefield. And Lily was choosing her words carefully. Very carefully. After a long minute, she whispered, Mark, Karen has no idea who she's messing with. I frowned. I know she doesn't. But what does that have to do with your past? She took a deep breath. Held it. Let it out slow. Back when I served, there were things that happened that weren't simple. I was part of operations that weren't on paper. I was involved with people who don't like being talked about. And if Karen starts digging like she always does, she might find things that put us in danger. My heart dropped. Not fast. Slow. Heavy. Like a weight pulling me deeper. Danger? I whispered. Lily nodded. Her fingers tapping against her knee. A nervous habit I'd never seen before. Real danger. Not HOA fines, not tire tracks on the lawn, not mailbox height violations. She swallowed. I mean the kind of danger where people show up at your door without knocking. I blinked. My chest tightened. That wasn't normal Lily drama. That wasn't something you say casually. That wasn't something an HOA president should ever sniff near. Lily, what exactly happened? She rubbed her forehead. I can't tell you everything. I signed papers. I made promises. But what I can tell you is this. Her voice lowered. I wasn't just a Marine. I worked with a special unit. We did things that weren't filed under our names. And one of the people who ran those operations hates me. I froze. Why? She looked straight at me. Her eyes sharp again. Not scared. Not weak. Just tired. Because I exposed him. The room felt colder. The air felt heavier. Even the silence felt heavier. Lily, what did he do? She hesitated. Her lips parted. Then closed. Then parted again. But she didn't answer. Instead she whispered. Karen doesn't know how close she is to opening a door she can't close. I exhaled. Long. Slow. Trying to piece together the puzzle. Trying to understand the dangerous shape forming between her words. So Karen digging around can lead her straight to him? Yes, Lily said. And if she finds something, even something small, he'll know I'm still alive, and he'll come looking. My chest went numb. My fingers cold. The kind of cold that didn't come from fear. But from realization. This wasn't HOA drama anymore. This wasn't Karen trying to catch us violating lawn rules. This wasn't a petty board fight. This was something dark. Something deep. Something that didn't belong anywhere near suburbia. I put my arm around Lily. Held her close. Felt her breathing slow. But not calm. Just controlled. Lily. I'm not letting anything happen to you. Not from Karen. Not from your past. Not from anyone. She shook her head. You don't get it, Mark. Karen won't stop. She'll send letters. She'll snoop. She'll try to take pictures. She'll talk to neighbors. She'll dig. And when Karen digs, she looked at me. She always finds something. A chill ran through my spine. Because that was true. Karen had ruined marriages. Friendships. Reputations. All with her community monitoring excuses. She was relentless. Nosy. Petty. Obsessed. Always searching for anything she could use as a weapon. And now she had my wife on her radar. My wife. Who was hiding from a man powerful enough to erase people. I stood up. Paced. Ran my hands through my hair. Trying to think. Trying to breathe. Trying to understand how something so stupid. So suburban. So HOA. Had just collided with a military ghost from Lily's past. I stopped. Turned toward her. What exactly can Karen find? What can she even look up? Lily sighed. Not much. But she doesn't need much. All she needs is a name. A date. A tiny piece. She'll run background checks, poke the DMV, pull up public records, ask around, and eventually. Her voice cracked. Someone will notice. Someone. Not something. Someone. And that word carried weight. Heavy weight. Dangerous weight. Lily. My voice lowered. Did this man do something to you? She didn't answer. She didn't deny. She didn't explain. Her eyes lowered. Her hands slowly clasped tighter. And that silence told me everything I needed to know. Yes. He did. I sat down beside her again. Closer this time. Leaning in. Trying to bring her back to me. To the present. To us. We'll stop Karen, I whispered. We'll shut her down. We'll put pressure on the board. We'll. Lily shook her head violently. No. Mark, you don't understand. The more we fight her, the more she pushes. The more she pushes, the more she digs. And the more she digs. She stared at the window. Like someone might be watching. The closer he gets to finding me. I grabbed her hand. Firm. Warm. Steady. Lily, what did you expose him for? Her jaw tightened. Her breath hitched. Her eyes glistened. And for the first time since I'd met her, Lily looked genuinely haunted. Mark, she whispered. He killed people. And he made us cover it up. I refused. My heart stopped. My thoughts stopped. My whole body felt like it was sinking. Killed. People. Covered. Up. Words you never expect to hear in your quiet little HOA neighborhood living room. She wiped her eyes. I testified against him in a closed inquiry. They sealed the records. They told me my identity was protected. She laughed. Bitter. Cold. But I don't trust the government to protect me. And if Karen keeps snooping. Her voice cracked. He'll know where I am. I felt dizzy. I sat back. Trying to breathe. Trying to think. Trying not to scream. Because now this wasn't just about HOA Karen. It wasn't about dress codes. Or tattoos. Or rule violations. It was about survival. And Karen had no idea how close she was to lighting a fuse. I reached out. Held Lily's face in my hands. And whispered. We'll handle this. I swear it. Karen won't find anything. And he won't touch you. I promise. She leaned into my touch. Closed her eyes. But her voice was small. Fragile. Mark, you can't promise that. I kissed her forehead. Watch me. But deep inside. Under my heartbeat. Under my anger. Under my determination. I felt something else. Something cold. Something creeping. Because if Karen pushed harder. If she filed a formal complaint. If she demanded documents. If she talked to the wrong person. Everything Lily tried to hide. Everything she tried to escape. Everything she tried to bury. Would come crawling right back out. And Karen. Petty, nosy, spiteful Karen. Would be the one dragging it into the light. So now I have to ask you something. If you were in my shoes, how far would you go to stop Karen before she digs up something that could get your family killed? When I asked myself how far I'd go to stop Karen, I thought maybe I'd just talk to her, calm her down, convince her to back off. But the moment part 2 ended. The moment Lily whispered that chilling truth. I realized something dark. Talking wasn't going to fix anything. Reason wasn't going to fix anything. And hoping Karen would just stop was the biggest joke of all. Because Karen didn't stop. Karen never stopped. And the next morning proved it. I woke up to the sound of paper sliding under my front door. Not mail. Not flyers. Not coupons. HOA notices. The cheap paper made that thin, sharp, scraping sound on the floor. A sound that no normal human should hear at 7 a.m. I walked to the door, picked up the papers, and felt my blood start boiling. Mandatory appearance, community behavior review. Immediate action required, homeowner aggression report. Potential financial penalties, unauthorized tattoo exposure. Unauthorized tattoo exposure. What kind of psychopath writes that? Karen. The answer was always Karen. Before I even finished reading, Lily walked into the room in silence. Hair tied up. Eyes tired. Steps slow. She saw the papers in my hand. Her jaw clenched. Looks like she filed everything, she whispered. I nodded. And I didn't say a word. Because at that moment, I wasn't angry. I wasn't stressed. I wasn't even surprised. I was calm. Too calm. The kind of calm people get right before they do something stupid. Lily looked at me carefully. Mark, what are you thinking? I took a breath. I'm thinking Karen isn't going to stop unless we stop her first. Lily shook her head immediately. No. If we escalate, she pushes harder. That's how she works. I stepped closer. Lily, she already escalated. These notices? This hearing? She's not backing off. She's going to dig. And we both know she'll find something eventually. Lily swallowed hard. She can't find anything if we stay quiet. But you're forgetting something, I whispered. Karen doesn't need facts. She just needs rumors. She just needs suspicion. She makes things up. She twists things. She destroys people for fun. Lily looked away. Her eyes dark. Her shoulders stiff. We can't run from her, I said. But we can't let her run over us either. Lily closed her eyes. And for a moment, she looked like someone trying to hold back tears. Someone torn between fear and survival. Someone who had seen too much already. Mark, she whispered. There are things about my past that Karen won't understand. Things she'll twist. Things she'll use to turn the whole neighborhood against me. I grabbed her hands. Warm. Shaking. Then we don't give her time to twist anything. She opened her eyes slowly. What do you mean? I hesitated. Because I wasn't even sure if my own idea was smart. Or completely insane. Karen only wins when people are scared of her. I took a breath. But what if, for once, she's scared of us? Lily blinked. Once. Twice. Her breathing paused. Scared of us? I nodded. Yeah. She backs down when she feels outnumbered. We saw it when she grabbed your shirt. When she saw the tattoo. When the neighbors watched. When she realized people weren't siding with her. Lily stared at me. Thinking. Processing. Her mind working behind her eyes. You want to push her back, she said. Not attack her, I replied. Just corner her. Legally. Publicly. Socially. Anything that makes her panic and stop digging. Lily looked doubtful. Because she wasn't afraid of Karen. She was afraid of the past Karen might accidentally uncover. And then Lily said something that hit me like a punch. You don't understand who this man is, Mark. You think Karen is dangerous? She shook her head. No. Karen is annoying. Karen is petty. Karen is a mosquito. But him. Her voice cracked. He's a predator. My heart clenched. Because Lily's fear wasn't small. It was deep. Old. Heavy. I sat down beside her. Took her chin gently. And lifted her face toward mine. Lily, is he looking for you? She hesitated. Too long. Way too long. I don't know, she whispered. The last update I got was that he lost his clearance, was removed from operations, disappeared from radar. I frowned. Disappeared? Lily nodded slowly. That's what they called it. But they don't really lose people like him. They just stop tracking them. I felt the cold creep into my chest again. The kind of cold that comes from knowing an invisible threat is walking somewhere on the same planet as you. I sat back. Ran both hands through my hair. Frustrated. Confused. Trying to figure out how an HOA president and a dangerous military ghost were now in the same sentence. But that's exactly what was happening. Lily suddenly whispered. Mark. I don't want him to find us. Her voice cracked. And that was it. That was the moment. The moment I realized there was nothing I wouldn't do. Nothing I wouldn't risk. Nothing I wouldn't push. To keep her safe. I leaned in. I'll protect you. I don't care who he is. I don't care what he did. I don't care what he thinks he can do. Lily shook her head. You don't understand, he doesn't care about laws. He doesn't care about warnings. If he finds us, he won't knock. He won't talk. He'll just remove me. I felt nauseous. Actual nausea. My stomach twisted. My throat tight. Because hearing my wife, my strong, fearless wife, say the word remove instead of kill, told me everything. She'd seen him do it. She'd watched him. She knew exactly what he was capable of. So when the doorbell rang, we both jumped. Lily's whole body flinched. Her eyes darted toward the door. Her breath stopped. I walked to the hallway. Slow. Quiet. Careful. I looked through the peephole. And my heart almost stopped. It wasn't the man she feared. It was worse in a different way. It was Karen. Standing on my porch. Holding a folder. Smirking. Like she finally won something. I opened the door a few inches. Enough to see her. Not enough for her to see Lily. Karen didn't even wait. She shoved the folder toward me. This, she snapped, is your official notice of investigation. Investigation. The word hit harder than I expected. Karen crossed her arms. This community does not tolerate aggression. Your wife exposed herself in front of neighbors yesterday. That is unacceptable behavior. I almost laughed. Lily exposed herself? Karen was the one who ripped her shirt. But Karen lived in her own reality. Where truth didn't matter. Where she controlled the narrative. Where everyone else was the villain. Karen, I said slowly. You need to leave. Right now. But Karen smirked. You think you can intimidate me, Mark? I know how you Marines are. I've read all the reports. I know the type. My stomach twisted. Because she didn't say Army. She didn't say military. She said Marines. She knew. She knew Lily served. She knew something. She found something. I stepped closer. What reports? Karen smiled wider. The smile of someone who thinks she just dug up something big. You'll find out, she said. I always find what I need. Then she walked away. Calm. Confident. Victorious. And when I closed the door, Lily was standing behind me. Pale. Frozen. Shaking. She knows, Lily whispered. She found something. My heart sank. Because that meant the worst. Karen wasn't just poking around. She was digging. And she'd hit something. Maybe a name. Maybe a record. Maybe a classified shadow. I stepped forward. Lily, what exactly could she have found with just your Marine background? Lily pressed her fingers against her lips. And whispered. Mark, if she found the wrong file, she didn't just find me. She swallowed. Her eyes filled with fear. She found him too. My pulse spiked. My mouth went dry. Because if Karen stumbled on anything connected to that man, she had no idea the danger she was unlocking. So now I need to ask you. If someone like Karen accidentally dug up a dangerous person from your past, would you warn her, or let her find out the hard way? The moment Lily said that last sentence, that he might be connected to whatever Karen found, I felt something inside me shift. A silent panic. A cold weight. A storm waiting behind my ribs. But I didn't have time to process it. Because Lily suddenly backed away from the door. Her hands shaking so badly she had to hold her wrists to steady them. Mark, if she found anything connected to him, we have hours. Maybe less. Her voice wasn't dramatic. It wasn't exaggerated. It was factual. Like she'd lived this before. I stepped toward her. Lily, listen. She cut me off. No. You don't understand. People who dig into him disappear. Not metaphorically. Not socially. Not ruined. They physically disappear. Her voice cracked at that last word. And I understood what she meant. The kind of disappearance that doesn't come with a missing person report. I took her by the shoulders. Firm but gentle. Then we warn her. Lily shook her head instantly. No. That's worse. If we warn her, she'll think we're threatening her. And Karen's the kind of woman who runs straight to the HOA board and screams harassment. She'll push harder. She always pushes harder. She was right. Karen wouldn't listen. Karen wouldn't slow down. Karen didn't even believe consequences were real. I stepped back. Thinking. Trying to put pieces together. If we can't warn her, I whispered. Then maybe we can stop her from digging further. Lily blinked. Her fear paused. Replaced by curiosity. How? I walked toward the kitchen counter. Picked up the folder Karen shoved at me. The one she handed over with that stupid smirk. The one she claimed was official. The seal was crooked. The signature didn't match the board's chair. Half the documents were printed with different fonts. I turned it around and showed Lily. This isn't an official investigation. This is Karen messing around. Playing detective. Playing queen. Lily stared at the papers. Then at me. Then at the door. Meaning? Meaning, I said slowly. She's working alone. She hasn't involved the board yet. She's pretending she has power she doesn't actually have. For the first time since the doorbell rang. Lily exhaled. A shaky breath. But not as terrified as before. That means she hasn't sent anything to external agencies, I added. Lily nodded. She would have bragged about it if she did. That was true. Karen couldn't keep her mouth shut if her life depended on it. So we had time. Not a lot. But some. Lily took the papers from my hand. Her eyes scanned them quickly. She flipped through each page like someone trained to look for codes. Her brows pulled together. Mark, look at this. She pointed at a line near the bottom of one page. Barely visible unless you knew where to look. It wasn't a document reference. It wasn't a signature. It wasn't an HOA phrase. It was a name. Not her name. Not mine. His. I felt my chest tighten. Like someone tying a rope around my ribs. How did she find this? I whispered. Lily shook her head. I don't know. That file shouldn't exist anywhere public. It shouldn't exist anywhere outside the military archives. Even I wasn't supposed to see it. I swallowed dry air. Because this wasn't just bad. This was catastrophic. So Karen thinks this is about us, I said. But she has no idea the name she found belongs to a trained operative who doesn't leave loose ends. Lily nodded slowly. Her eyes getting darker. Exactly. And then she whispered something I wish she never had to say. If he thinks someone found him, he'll come. We stood there in silence. A long, heavy silence. Broken only by the sound of the refrigerator humming. She's going to knock on the wrong door, I whispered. Push the wrong piece. Trigger the wrong memory. And he's going to think someone is hunting him. Lily finished the sentence for me. And he'll hunt them first. My stomach twisted. Because I didn't want Karen hurt. I just wanted her to stop meddling. Stop harassing us. Stop creating chaos. But this? This was different. This was deadly. We need to destroy everything she found, I said. Every file. Every breadcrumb. Anything that connects her to that name. Lily nodded. But then she pointed out the obvious. We don't know what she printed. What she saved. What she screenshot. What she emailed to herself. I cursed under my breath. Because she was right. Karen treated dirt like treasure. She hoarded anything that could give her power. Even if she didn't understand it. We needed to act fast. I grabbed my keys. Lily stepped in front of me. Where are you going? To Karen, I said. To get that file before it spreads. Lily grabbed my arm. Hard. Her nails digging into my skin. No. Absolutely not. If you confront her, she'll weaponize it. She'll twist it. She'll accuse you of threatening her. I looked at her. Then what do you want me to do? Lily lowered her voice. Her eyes darting to the window. As if someone might be listening. We don't confront Karen. We outsmart her. How? We don't go to her. We go to someone she listens to. I frowned. Karen doesn't listen to anyone. Lily shook her head. Oh, she does. You don't know her past. I do. I paused. Wait, you know her past? Lily nodded slowly. I recognized her the day we moved in. She wasn't in the Marines. She wasn't in politics. She wasn't in intelligence. She was something else. What? I whispered. Lily took a breath. And said a name I never expected to hear. A name I didn't even think was real anymore. A name that made my skin crawl. She used to work as an informant. My heart skipped. What kind of informant? Lily whispered. The kind that sells information in exchange for protection. Protection. That was the key. Karen's arrogance didn't come from ego. It came from knowing she used to have powerful people shielding her. But if she was out of the system, if she was retired, if she didn't have those connections anymore, she was playing a game she couldn't win. With a man she couldn't hide from. So someone used to protect her, I said. And she might think she still has that shield. Lily nodded. And she doesn't, I finished. And he'll know that too. We both stood there. Silent again. But not frozen. Thinking. Planning. Waiting for the next step to reveal itself. Lily finally broke the silence. Her voice soft. Worried. Real. Mark, if he comes here, what do we do? I swallowed. Looked at her. Looked at the door. Looked at the stack of fake HOA papers. And I said the only truth I had. We protect each other. That's all we can do. She stepped closer. Rested her forehead on my chest. And whispered. I'm scared. I kissed the top of her head. I know. And as I held her. As the house stayed quiet. As the sun went down outside the window. I couldn't stop thinking one thing. Karen had no idea what she had awakened. No idea what she was walking toward. No idea that her curiosity might cost her more than fines or hearings. So now I need to ask you. If someone discovered a dangerous secret without knowing the danger, would you save them from it? Or would you let their own curiosity destroy them? I didn't sleep that night. Not even for a second. My mind kept spinning. Running circles around the same thought. Karen had touched something she shouldn't have touched. She had dug into a name she shouldn't have seen. And now, if he really kept track of every trace, every whisper, every file, then he already knew someone had looked at him. I sat in the living room. Lights off. Only the dim yellow glow from the street lamp slipping through the blinds. Lily stayed on the couch. Curled into herself. Breathing quiet and shaky. Like she didn't want the house to hear her fear. Around 3 a.m. I stood up and walked toward the window. The cul-de-sac was dead silent. Not normal suburban silence. Not peaceful silence. This was the kind that felt heavy. Like the whole street was holding its breath. Lily spoke softly behind me. Mark, come sit. I didn't move. I just kept watching the dark street. I'm trying to figure out his timeline, I whispered. If Karen found his name, then he probably already got notified. Lily rubbed her hands together. Nervous. Her shoulders tight. He doesn't move fast. That's what makes him dangerous. He waits. He studies. He watches for patterns. I felt a chill run up my back. Like someone had just walked over my grave. So he could already be here? I asked. And we wouldn't know? Lily nodded slowly. That's how he operates. My throat dried. Because if that was true, then maybe we weren't waiting for trouble. Maybe trouble was already sitting somewhere in the dark. Watching us breathe. Lily stood and walked toward me. She touched my arm. Her voice softer now. We need to decide something. What? If this gets worse, at what point do we leave? I turned to her. Leave the neighborhood? She shook her head. No. Leave the state. For the first time since this whole thing started. I actually felt anger rise in my chest. Not at her. Not at him. At Karen. At her stupid obsession. Her power trips. Her need to poke her nose into things she didn't understand. Her love for drama. Her constant meddling. She had no idea she was playing with fire. But we were the ones getting burned. We're not running, I said. We didn't do anything wrong. Lily looked down. Her voice barely above a whisper. People who meet him don't survive long enough to explain they did nothing wrong. That hit harder than anything else. I stepped away from the window. My head pounding. My thoughts loud. We need a plan, I said. A real one. Lily nodded. Her fear shifting into focus. Like she had slipped into the survival mode she learned somewhere dark. Somewhere she never talked about. She walked to the table. Sat down. Pulled out a notepad. She wrote 3 words. Slowly. Carefully. Distract. Contain. Erase. I stared at them. Explain. She pointed to the first one. Distract. We keep Karen busy with something else. Something dramatic. Something that makes her forget the file. I nodded. That could work. Karen loved drama. Loved being the center of attention. Loved being a victim. Then she pointed to the second. Contain. We need to find out exactly what she printed. What she saved. What she forwarded. Everything. My stomach twisted. Because that meant getting close to Karen. Close enough to see her phone. Her laptop. Her files. Her backups. Then she pointed to the last word. Erase. We destroy every digital or physical trace she's touched. I looked at her. You want to break into her house? Lily didn't deny it. If we don't, he will. The air felt colder. Like someone had cracked open the window. But nothing moved. I sat across from her. Okay, but how do we distract her? Lily gave a small, humorless smile. You know how. I sighed. Because yeah. I did. Karen had two weaknesses. 1. Attention. 2. Men who treat her like she matters. She was starving for validation. Any validation. And she always fell for the same kind of thing. A little charm. A little fake politeness. A little you're right, Karen, you're so smart, Karen, you're so important, Karen. She ate that stuff like sugar. So I talked to her, I said. Pretend I'm trying to make peace. Pretend I'm scared she's mad at me. Lily nodded. If you flatter her enough, she'll forget the file for a while. She'll talk. She always talks. I hated it. But she wasn't wrong. And while she's distracted, Lily continued. I go in. My eyes snapped to hers. Absolutely not. She held eye contact. Steady. Confident. Scary. Mark. I'm better at this than you. No. If anything happens. She cut me off. You don't know who I was before I met you. Her voice was calm. Not defensive. Not dramatic. Just honest. I know how to get in without leaving a trace, she continued. I know how to wipe devices. I know how to remove logs. I know how to make files disappear forever. I stared at her. Stunned. Not sure whether to ask questions. Or stay quiet. Or start panicking. She placed her hand over mine. Trust me. I looked at her. Really looked at her. And I realized something. Something that made my stomach drop. Lily was scared. But she wasn't helpless. She wasn't fragile. She wasn't clueless. She had survived things long before I ever met her. Things much darker than suburban HOA nonsense. Things I never asked about. Because she never offered. But maybe I should have. I took a long breath. So, tomorrow? She nodded. The earlier the better. We don't know his clock. We sat in silence again. But this time. It wasn't paralyzing. This time. It was planning. We were preparing. We were bracing. We were stepping towards something dangerous. But necessary. Because whether we liked it or not. Whether we were ready or not. Karen had started something. And now we had to finish it. Before someone else finished us. I leaned back in the chair. Looked at Lily. And asked the only question that mattered. If she catches you in her house, what will you do? Lily didn't blink. Didn't hesitate. Didn't show an inch of fear. She just quietly whispered. I won't get caught. And now I need to ask you. Would you risk everything to clean up someone else's mess, even if that someone was the person who hated you the most? The next morning felt unreal. Like the world had shifted a few inches in the night. Just enough to throw off my balance. The air outside was too quiet. The birds were singing. But even their songs felt nervous. Lily was already awake. She stood near the window. Arms crossed. Eyes locked on Karen's house across the street. She didn't blink. Didn't move. Didn't even breathe loudly. It was like she was studying a target. Not a neighbor. I walked toward her. Are you sure you want to do this? She didn't look away from the window. I have to. If she sends that file anywhere, if she posts it, if she forwards it, we can't undo it. I swallowed hard. Because she was right. What's my part again? I said. Even though I already knew. Even though I hated it. Lily finally turned to me. Her face calm. Her voice steady. You distract her. You get her talking. You keep her away from her house for as long as possible. I rubbed the back of my neck. And she won't think it's suspicious. Lily let out a short breath. Almost a laugh. Mark. Karen loves attention. If you show up acting apologetic, acting like you need her approval, acting like you want her forgiveness, she'll keep you on her porch for hours. She paused. Then added quietly. She'll enjoy it. I sighed. Great. Lily stepped closer. Placed her hand on my chest. One more thing. What? Whatever you do, don't let her touch her phone. Don't let her check it. Don't let her remember anything about last night. I nodded. Got it. But inside, my stomach was already twisting. Because I didn't like any of this. Not the plan. Not the risk. Not the idea of Lily sneaking into someone's house. But we didn't have a choice. We either erased what Karen found, or we let a dangerous man decide our fate. Around 10 a.m., Lily grabbed a backpack, slipped on gloves, and tied her hair back into a tight bun. She didn't look like my wife. She looked like someone trained. Someone experienced. Someone who had done this before. She looked terrifying. And safe. At the same time, I grabbed my keys. You go in 5 minutes after I knock, I said. She nodded. No smile. No fear. Just focus. I walked out the door. Crossed the street. And forced my face into something that looked soft. Friendly. Almost embarrassed. Karen's front yard had fresh chalk lines on the sidewalk. Probably something she was preparing to find someone for. Her front door had a new wreath. Probably something she would claim set the community standards. I knocked. It took 3 seconds. Just 3. Before she swung the door open. A big smile glued to her face. Well, look who decided to come crawling back. I forced a small laugh. Scratchy. Awkward. Exactly how she liked it. Karen, hey, can we talk? She grinned wider. Like a cat finally catching a mouse. Oh? Are you here to apologize? I nodded. Yeah. I mean, yesterday was intense. She crossed her arms. Leaning against the doorframe. Blocking the entrance on purpose. It sure was. I gave you information you should be grateful for. Most people would have thanked me for protecting their neighborhood. Protecting. I almost choked. But I kept my expression soft. Like I believed her. Like I admired her. I actually came to say, thank you. Her eyebrows shot up. She didn't expect that. She loved it. She stepped outside. Closed the door behind her. And clasped her hands dramatically. Well, at least someone around here appreciates how much work I do. Behind her. In the reflection of her glass window. I saw Lily. A shadow moving along the side of the house. Then disappearing. My pulse jumped. But I didn't react. So, Karen continued. What exactly are you apologizing for? Let's hear it properly. I pretended to hesitate. Pretended I was embarrassed. Well, I didn't realize how much effort you put into keeping things in order. I shouldn't have dismissed you. Karen practically preened. Her voice lifting. Her chin rising. Oh no, don't feel bad. Most people are too simple to understand community management. I nodded. Like she was a genius. Like she was special. She loved every second. So, she said. So go on. Tell me what you actually came here for. I took a dramatic breath. Look. I was hoping we could talk things out. Reset things. You know, neighbor to neighbor. That was the magic phrase. Karen loved being the one who allowed peace. Like she was the queen of forgiveness. She stepped closer. Put her hand on my arm. Oh Mark, of course we can reset things. I'm not unreasonable. Behind her. Through the reflection. I saw Lily reach Karen's back door. Silent. Smooth. Quick. Karen kept talking. You know, I always thought you were different from the other men on this street. More respectful. More mature. I felt my skin crawl. But I didn't show it. Oh, thanks. Karen smirked. You know, most men here don't know how to speak to a woman properly. They get defensive. Emotional. Childish. I forced a smile. Well, I really didn't want hard feelings between us. She touched my arm again. Lingering. Like she didn't want to let go. It's okay, sweetie. I forgive you. I almost gagged. But I stayed calm. Behind her. I saw the faint movement of Lily slipping inside. One part of the plan done. Now I needed to keep Karen busy. So, Karen said, do you want to walk around the neighborhood with me? I usually do my property checks at this hour. My heart stopped. If she went inside to get her little clipboard, the plan was dead. Lily would be caught. Think. Actually, I said quickly. I wanted to ask you something about the file from yesterday. Karen lit up like Christmas. Oh, that file. Yes. You see? I knew you'd come back. You men always do. She giggled. And I wanted to jump into traffic. What about it? She asked. I needed to get her talking. Talking long. Talking loud. Talking nonstop. So I leaned in and whispered. I wanted to know what else you found. Karen's eyes gleamed. She lived for moments like this. Oh honey, so much. You have no idea. I can show you. No. She was turning toward the door. I stepped in front of her. No, tell me. Right now. I want to hear it. She inhaled sharply. Then smiled. And lowered her voice. It's bigger than a dress code violation. Behind her, I saw Lily's shadow pass upstairs. Karen took another step toward me. Her voice dropping even lower. You and your wife, you're hiding something, and I'm going to prove it. She smirked. Like she was proud of that threat. Like it made her powerful. And I felt a cold wave ripple through me. Not from fear. From anger. We were risking everything to protect her. And she had no idea. She thought she was hunting us. And she was bragging about it. I forced a smile anyway. Well, maybe you're right, I said softly. Maybe you really are the only one who can uncover the truth. Her entire ego inflated. Just like I needed. We stood there. Talking. Stalling. Acting. While Lily searched her house. Searched her files. Searched for anything that used the name Karen should never have found. And now I need to ask you. If you had to flatter your worst enemy, just to protect them from something deadly, could you do it without snapping? Karen kept talking. And talking. And talking. Her voice drifting between bragging and whispering. Like she was the star of some detective show that only she watched. But all I cared about was what was happening inside her house. Lily had been in there for almost 10 minutes. 10 long minutes. 10 dangerous minutes. 10 minutes where one wrong sound. One unexpected step. One squeaky floorboard. Could end everything. Karen leaned closer to me. Too close. Her perfume hitting me like a chemical cloud. Her voice lowered. You know. I wasn't going to tell anyone this yet, but I think your wife is lying to you. I forced a confused expression. Lying? About what? Karen smiled. The kind of smile people get when they enjoy chaos. Oh, little things. Where she goes. Who she knows. What she hides. You'd be shocked. I kept my face neutral. Like I was listening. But inside. My pulse was pounding like a drum. Because every second she talked. Every second she focused on me. Every second she kept her eyes on my face instead of her house. Was another second Lily could work. What exactly did you find? I asked. Careful. Soft. Interested. Karen lit up again. That's the thing. I don't have all the answers yet. But I will. You know me. I'm like a bloodhound. I almost laughed. Just to keep from screaming. Yeah, I said. You definitely know how to find things. She tilted her head. Flattered. Her eyes gleaming with pride. And when I do, she whispered. This whole neighborhood is going to thank me. Behind her. In the reflection of her window. I saw Lily move again. This time downstairs. Quick. Focused. A small flash of a USB stick in her hand. She was getting everything. She was wiping everything. She was clearing every trace. Karen finally noticed my eyes shift for half a second. And she turned her head instinctively toward her house. My heart dropped. No. No. I stepped in instantly. Karen, wait, I wanted to ask you something personal. She froze. Turned back to me. Personal? I nodded. Trying to sound embarrassed. Trying to sound hesitant. Well, you said yesterday that I seemed like one of the respectful men here. And I guess I just didn't know you thought that. Her ego snapped back around like a magnet. Oh, honey, of course I do. She touched my arm again. Slowly. Possessively. I see things others don't. Lily's shadow slipped past the window, moving toward the back exit. She did it. She was almost out. I needed 30 more seconds. So, I said. Trying to drag this out. Trying to keep Karen's attention glued to me. What makes you think Lily is lying? Karen leaned in like she was about to reveal a scandal. Well, first of all. Her voice dropped to a whisper. She's too quiet. I almost choked. Too quiet? Karen nodded seriously. People who are quiet always hide something. Always. You should trust me on this. If I wasn't terrified, I might have laughed out loud. Because she said it with such confidence. Such certainty. Like she had just delivered a TED Talk on paranoia. She took another breath to continue. But then, a faint sound. Barely audible. A click. Karen's eyes flicked to the side. She heard it. My heart slammed against my ribs. Think. Think. Move. I stepped closer. Fast. Too fast. But I didn't have time to think. Karen, look at me. She blinked. Startled. Her attention jumping back to my face. I lowered my voice. Made it deep. Made it slow. Made it sound like I was confessing some dark truth. I didn't come here for just an apology. Her eyes widened. Her breath caught. Oh? Then, what did you come for? Behind her. Through the reflection. I saw Lily finally slip out the back. Her silhouette disappearing between the hedges. Her movements ghost-like. Silent. Perfect. I let out the quietest breath of my life. The hard part was done. Now I just needed to end this conversation. Without making Karen suspicious. But she was leaning even closer now. Her voice practically purring. What did you come for? Mark? I swallowed. Keeping my act together. To make peace, I said softly. To reset everything. I stepped back half a step. Giving myself space. Giving her the signal the conversation was ending. And to thank you, for caring so much about the neighborhood. She soaked in that line. Like it was the sweetest thing she'd ever heard. Well, she said. If you really appreciate me, then I suppose I can ease off your wife for now. My shoulders relaxed. Just a tiny bit. Really? Karen nodded. But her tone stayed smug. Of course. I mean, until I find something bigger. When I do, I'll let you know. I forced a grateful smile. Thanks, Karen. She reached out. Patted my cheek. Actually patted my cheek. The way you pat a dog. You did the right thing coming to me. I held my breath. Smiled through the disgust. Have a nice day. You too, sweetie. I walked away. Slowly. Calmly. Every muscle stiff. Every second feeling like a lifetime. When I turned the corner of our driveway, Lily stepped out from the shadows. Breathing hard. Sweat on her temples. Her hands shaking. It's done, she whispered. You got everything? She nodded. I wiped her laptop, her cloud, her email, her backups. The name is gone. Every trace is gone. She has nothing now. My chest loosened. Just a little. And she didn't see you? I asked. Lily shook her head. No. But Mark. She looked past me. Toward the street. Toward nothing. And everything. At the same time. There was something in her house. My stomach dropped. What do you mean? Lily swallowed. She wasn't the only one digging. Someone else already accessed her computer last night. My blood ran cold. What? Who? Lily stared at me. Her voice barely a breath. He was there before me. The world tilted. The edges of my vision tightened. You mean? She nodded. He knows. He knows Karen found his name. And he knows she's the reason the file was opened. I felt sick. So what? What does that mean? Lily looked at me. Her eyes dark. It means he's coming. I stepped back. Heart pounding. Every nerve awake. And he's not coming for us, she whispered. He's coming for her. My mouth went dry. The street felt colder. Darker. Smaller. And now I need to ask you. If someone was walking toward danger, a danger you can't stop, would you warn them? Or would you finally let karma do its job?